Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are jumping into the absolute final level of a massive construction project. We're going to be using Michael D. Robinson's awesome guide to the FIDIC Red Book 2017 to unlock Clause 10, which is all about the employers taking over. Now, I know what you're thinking. Contract clauses sound, well, kind of boring. But I promise you, we are going to make this super simple and fun. We're going to frame this whole thing like you're beating the final boss in a video game. Let's do this.
But seriously, have you ever thought about that? When is a huge project like a skyscraper officially done? Is it when the last window is cleaned or when the final coat of paint dries? Well, the real answer is a super important legal step. And to get our heads around it, let's imagine this whole construction project is like building the most epic video game level of all time.
So our mission today is to conquer Clause 10. This is that epic moment of the official handover, where the level designer, who is our contractor, gives the keys to their amazing new world to the gaming company. That's our employer. And I promise we're going to break this down so it feels just as easy as clearing level 1.
Okay, here's our game plan. First, we're going to face the final boss. What even is taking over. Then we'll tackle the main quest, which is all about getting approval. After that, we'll explore a few side quests and potential glitches that can pop up. We'll do a little code cleanup, and then a quick quiz to see what you've learned before we grab our final achievement, the key takeaways. Ready? Let's jump in.
So, this final boss, taking over, what is it? In our gaming world, it's that huge climactic moment where the gaming company officially accepts the brand new level from the level designer. It's not just that the level is built, it's that it's been tested, it's approved, and it is ready for millions of players to jump in. This is when all that responsibility officially changes hands.
So, in the official contract language, taking over is the formal process where the employer takes on responsibility for the works. Now, the key phrase here is that the project has to be completed in accordance with the contract, and that includes passing all the tests on completion. You've got to think of these tests as the final boss battle. You have to prove that everything works just like it's supposed to before you can claim that victory. It's got to be ready for prime time.
All right, let's get into our main quest, Clause 10.1. This is basically the step-by-step walkthrough for our contractor, our level designer, on exactly how to get that official approved stamp from the engineer.
Now, this is where things get really interesting, because the 2017 Red Book added 3 brand new mandatory conditions to this quest. These used to be things people would kind of push off to the last minute, but not anymore. Now the contractor has to submit the as-built records. You can think of that as the game's final source code. They also have to hand over the operation and maintenance manuals. That's basically the player's guide. And finally, they've got to complete any required training, teaching the company how to actually run and maintain the level.
And you know, timing is absolutely everything here. The contractor can apply for the taking over certificate up to 14 days before they think the work will be ready. As soon as they apply, a 28-day clock starts ticking. The engineer has exactly 28 days to either issue the certificate or reject it with good reasons. And here's the really cool part. If the engineer just goes silent and the work is actually done, the certificate is automatically deemed to have been issued. It's a fantastic little rule that protects against endless delays.
And this right here is such a key point. The project doesn't have to be 100% absolutely perfect. The contract is very clear. The certificate should be issued even if there are minor outstanding works and defects, as long as they don't stop the project from being used for what it was built for. So our game level can launch with a few tiny visual bugs, as long as people can still play the game. These little things just get put on a punch list to be fixed later on.
Okay, you know every great game has a few side quests and, yeah, the occasional glitch. Well, in the FIDIC world, those are covered in clauses 10.2 and 10.3. And this is where things can get a little tricky, because we're talking about early access and other unexpected problems that can pop up right at the finish line.
So let's look at Clause 10.2. This is when the employer wants to use just one part of the works early. Think of it like a gaming company releasing a single level as a free demo before the full game is out. Now, this can only happen at the employer's sole discretion. The second they start using it, that part is considered taken over. Now, this does reduce any delay damages, which is good, but it comes with big risks. Imagine the employer opens just the ground floor of a new building. If a pipe suddenly bursts, who's at fault? Was it a construction defect, or did one of their new employees cause it? It can get really messy, and insurance might be a nightmare.
Now for a potential game-breaking glitch. What happens if the contractor is all set for the final tests, but they're being blocked by the employer? So what if our level designer is ready to go, but the gaming company completely forgets to turn on the power to the server? What then?
Well, Clause 10.3 has a really powerful rule for exactly this situation. If the contractor is stopped from doing the tests on completion for more than 14 days, and it's the employer's fault, then the works are deemed to have been taken over. That's right, the project is automatically considered complete and handed over. It's a crucial protection for the contractors so they don't get held up unfairly.
We are so close to the credits rolling. This is the final step, cleaning up the code. Clause 10.4 is all about those final touches, making sure all the leftover stuff is removed and the site is perfectly polished.
This one's pretty straightforward. The contractor just has to clean up the site, get rid of all their extra materials, and put everything back the way they found it. If this stuff isn't totally finished by the taking over date, no big deal. It just gets added to that punch list of minor things to wrap up later.
And level complete. You made it through the core of Clause 10. Now let's see how much you soaked in. It is time for a quick pop quiz to lock in all that knowledge. You ready for this? All right. Question number 1. How long does the engineer have to respond to a taking over application before that super handy deemed issue rule kicks in? Question 2. True or false? The employer can just decide to use part of the works, like our game demo, whenever they want before the official taking over.
And for the final question, what happens if our gaming company blocks the level designer from running those final tests for more than 2 weeks?
Okay, pencils down. Let's check the answers. For number 1, the answer is 28 days. The answer to number 2 is false. Remember, it's only at the employer's discretion, and it's a really risky move. And for question 3, if the employer delays testing by more than 14 days, the works are deemed taken over. So how'd you do? Get them all right? Let me know down in the comments.
All right, quiz complete, achievement unlocked. So what are the crucial points, the main takeaways from our adventure through Clause 10 today?
First off, taking over is a formal, official handover. It's not just when the work stops. Second, don't forget those 3 new key conditions in the 2017 Red Book. As-builts, manuals, and training are now must-haves. Third, taking over parts of the works early is a risky side quest. Fourth, that 14-day rule is a huge protection for the contractor. And last, but maybe most important, always check the local laws where you're working, because sometimes they can add a whole new layer of rules to the game. So what's the next level? Join me for the next explainer where we're going to tackle Clause 11, defects after taking over. We're going to find out what happens when you find bugs after the game has already launched. It's going to be a good one.
Hey, if you found this explainer useful, it would be awesome if you hit that like button. If not, the dislike is there too. And please share any questions or thoughts in the comments below. I really do love hearing from you all. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks so much for watching.